Oh. All right. All right. What's up, everybody? About to do a business coaching call. These are typically not my favorite. I'm gonna take this off here. I own two companies. One of them is a home service business here in Southwest Florida that does about $30K a month. And I'm about to do a business coaching call to get personal coaching. So I thought might as well go live with it. See what we think here. Let me get a little, my bald head looking too bald back there. Let's see, how do we hide that? Come in. Ooh, that's nice. Hello, welcome. I am about to do a business coaching call here in about 10 minutes. And just getting the office ready here. Let's see here. Business coaching call starting in about 10 minutes. I own a painting company here in Florida, and we're doing about $20,000-$30,000 in revenue a month, and I'm really just trying to take it to the next level. So I have a coaching call here in about 10 minutes, potentially sign up for coaching, and we will see where that goes. How's it going, everybody? Boris Amu, Regine. Hey, if you want to learn how to run a business, stick around, watch this for the next hour. About to do a coaching call. Okay. Where's everybody from in here? You two people? Where are you all watching from? Do you speak the English? Okay. Ooh, lost them there. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Can you bring the vacuum down? I got a vacuum in here.
You started your call now?
They said that they're running late. It should be in the next 3-4 minutes.
Wow. Look at you.
I'm live streaming.
Right now? With us talking? Oh, God. Vacuum. You watch the baby for a second while I grab the vacuum?
Where is she?
She's in that room.
Just grab it real quick.
Everybody. You should call.
How's the couch coming?
Trying to get stains out. Takes time.
With the stain remover?
Yeah. Did you ever put the files back in the file cabinets or not yet?
No, I mean, I got a whole bunch of
Stuff out?
stuff.
Baby. No. Go boom. Hey, here, vacuum. Your vacuum's ready.
I'll do it while I'll do it while I'm waiting. We can't walk in here with shoes, right? Oh. Okay, so kind of get a little more started here. I'm not going to say who the company is, but the coaching company had a few questions. I like how they set up their little pre-qualification. Now their pre-qualification was, how much money are you earning a month? What is your average job size, ticket size, amount? How many employees or subcontractors do you have? Weekly hours are you working? I didn't ask for close rate, but I put it in there anyways because I'm sure they're going to ask somewhere around there. And then they asked a few other things on here, but I don't remember what it was. I didn't write it down. But we'll see what they say. On revenue, we're doing about 15 to 30K a month. I need to dial that number in. Really, what's good about what's good about these calls here, and it's not like I've done this 1,000 times, but what's good about these calls, this is actually my second time doing a business coaching call. Keep in mind, I'm not the coach. This is business coaching for me to receive. This is the second time I've done it. And second time means that it didn't go with the first people. But I've realized through this that I think the biggest benefit. Oh, they cut the meeting. What happened there? Okay, they just cut the meeting. See, I was afraid that they would like somehow hear me in the. They would somehow hear me, and they would get scared. I don't know. Anyways, this meeting was supposed to start at 4. It's 4:31, 4:34 right now. And I'm already starting to get a little bit of not a great taste in my mouth. What's up, new viewer? Oh, you're gone. But anyways, I have my questions ready. Not a whole bunch of questions. What I like about what I was saying before. What I like about doing these calls is, one, I would eventually like to get into coaching more. It was very, sorry, I'm just trying to say something up here.
You can think, yeah.
It was very brief. He just told me that he was doing some coaching, and I just asked him a few questions about it and told him that I've been off and on thinking about it for, I'd say, about 1.5 years. And he asked me if he just wanted to get me connected with somebody. I said, sure. That's about it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm happy to hear that. And you're Southwest Florida, is that right?
That's right.
How's summer treating the painting market?
Summer is your winter, so it slows down a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Were you able to watch the 9-minute video?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. Did you have any questions at all from that?
No questions.
Okay, right on.
Actually, I did have one question. I did have one question.
Yeah, do you think?
2 businesses Patrick started. What were they?
Yeah, so there's Student Works, which is his like painting. So there's Student Works and Decify that are kind of like under the umbrella of his franchise. So Student Works is painting, and then Decify, and that's like a franchise that Patrick runs. That's about $45 million last year, and then there's Rydell Roofing, and that's about $35 million last year.
He started Student Works.
He came into Student Works and ended up. I can show you the chart. He came into Student Works when it was doing, I think, about like $6 million, and then took over Student Works and then brought it up to what is now about $45 million.
Cool.
And then Decify he started Decify inside of like under that umbrella, and then he is like one of 3 founders for Rydell.
Decify, that's a painting company.
No, Decify is like a decks, power washing, like exteriors.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then Student Works is painting.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then Rydell is the roofing.
Got it.
Yeah. One thing before we dive in, the dynamic of this business, right? So from the notes, like I've had a chance to go over the notes this morning. Is there, so you run, I guess, like True Spectrum yourself, and then it was kind of mentioned that your parents are involved in another arm of the business, or something like that. Is that right?
No parents involved at all.
Is there a wife involved?
No. I mean, I'm married, but she's not involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could just be that like the translator of like as I'm reading the call that you had is wrong. So
Okay.
I'm happy I asked.
No. It's fine.
So it's different. You run the business. You make all the decisions for the business.
Yeah. I wish my parents started this. I probably would be in a lot different. I'd be in a different tax bracket if my parents.
Yeah.
Right.
I hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way that this meeting is going to go today is I am going to start off by asking you some questions about your business.
Okay.
And I'll be listening for a few specific things inside of that conversation.
Yeah.
If I genuinely feel like I can build something that makes sense, like I'm a firm believer, if I look for every reason why it wouldn't work and we have something left, then it's probably going to work pretty well. So if that's what happens and I say, listen, this I think will work and this is how and why, I'll take you through exactly what that looks like and what we have to offer. That way, by the end of the meeting, you're able to make a decision of if you want to move forward or not.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right on. Okay. So, like I said, I know you spoke with Seb, and I've had a chance to go over those notes. I think I have a decent baseline, but I would love to just hear, like in your own words, what you feel is the biggest challenge that you're running into right now in the business that even motivated you to come see me today.
Sure. So I would say two reasons. One would be lead gen. Two would be, I guess I would say like, maybe accountability, and not even just accountability, because I get people that can hold me accountable, but just having some mentorship by someone or people that have been in my shoes and are at, a 2 million and above, on sales.
Makes sense. Okay. When you say lead gen, like what does the calendar look like right now? How far are you booked out?
Yeah, so it's touch and go. As I was explaining to Sebastian in the past, it's touch and go, sometimes having maybe a few days off, but I would say the rest of this month, probably the rest of next month is booked out. This month and next month. For sure. And then that's kind of how it's typically gotten in the last year, where it's, I'm about a month to 2 months out, with like maybe we might have a week somewhere where it's just like nothing is in between that. We finished early, or that's just when we finished, we had nothing to fill in that week, and then we have another project coming in.
Okay. Walk me through exactly like where customers came from over the last 30 days.
99% of them are from Facebook ads.
Facebook ads. Okay. Right on. And you're like right now you're spending roughly about like $320 a day for the Facebook ads to run?
Yeah.
Okay. How many leads a day would you say that produces?
1 to 2 right now, off season.
Are those like your ideal client profile, the kind of jobs you would like to be doing? Is it?
Yeah, I mean it's hit or miss, but pretty much, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got the ads pretty dialed into where it targets the people we want.
Okay. How many estimates happen from let's say you're getting 2 leads per day, how many estimates typically transpire from that?
I would say probably if we're doing 2 today, we'll probably go on like maybe 3 to 4 of those.
Okay. And then how many of those close?
I would say, our close rate's at 33%.
33?
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. And then in terms of like manpower, what is that like? Full-time employees?
No employees, 4 subs, and I have a sub who does project management, sales, and he'll hop on some tools every once in a while.
Right on. Okay. And I'm sure it varies, but if you could break down kind of like your typical day, where does your time go?
My house. Right now I'm doing like 8 to 10 hours a week. In the field.
Okay. Wild. Let me ask you this.
It's
Do
off
you
season.
have a good?
It's
Pardon?
off season. It's off season.
Yeah, no, but it's good that you've been able to do it like this. Like that's my wild was an impressed wild.
Yeah.
100%. Let me ask you. Let's figure out more kind of. Do you have any idea like what right now? Because like those 8 to 10 hours, are you doing a deep dive into like your CAC on like Meta and stuff like that, or where do you spend that time?
Yeah, so it's gonna be estimates, checking up on jobs, and the checking up on jobs is really like an optional thing. Like I said, I have a guy who, and we can get into that, but if I didn't want to project manage, I wouldn't have to project manage.
Yeah, fair.
And then yeah, a good percentage of that is going to be going into Meta. Watching my Meta, watching my numbers, updating my creatives, paying attention to my competitors' creatives. I do a lot of watching what they're uploading and how often, all that stuff. And that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what your CAC on Meta is right now? Is right now? Like when you're doing those like deep dives.
Cost per acquisition? What does CAC mean?
Yeah, like do you have an idea like so not like your cost per lead, but like your actual cost to acquire like a paying customer?
Yeah. I don't have that number, and this is another thing that I need to tighten in on. But if I had to guess, I mean, if we just do the math, it's like an average lead cost is like 120, 150 bucks a lead. If we get 10 of those, we book 2 to 3 of them. You do the math there. I don't know what that math is. 150 times 10, 1,500 bucks, we'll just say. And then we'll book 2 to 3 of those. So divide that by 3, I think. It's like maybe 350 for, I'd say between 300 to probably 700 bucks. I'd say is where we're at on cost per acquisition.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And those numbers are quite a bit better during the season.
Sure, right, of course. We can't confidently tell whether $1 of ad spend is producing $2 or $4 or $8 of gross profit right now. We're kind of just ballparking.
I'm ballparking. Yeah, I wish I had a more specific number.
Fair.
I'm ballparking, but
okay.
I know that it's the times where I have really gotten those numbers down. It's like it's very good.
The
return.
Okay. And then if we look at the seasonality factor, which obviously is huge, right?
Yeah.
In like peak season, how much are you spending a day?
I'm actually spending the most right now.
I bet, of course.
So I would say peak season, and this coming season, I probably will go up to maybe $400 or $500. It's been all like very scary for me. The Facebook ads. I haven't had this company yet for 2 years yet, and so a lot I'm still figuring out.
Yeah.
And so like there's times where I'm like, I feel like I need to spend more money, but that's just scary. One, because I don't know my numbers enough, which I should.
Of course.
And so I'll up my ad spend. But anyways, to answer your question, I'm usually at about 180 to 250, 220 a day on ad spend during the in season.
Okay. How much of that do you believe is unavoidable, like Florida seasonality, versus the campaign itself?
I think there's always room for adjustment, but I would consider myself very good with meta ads, just in the creative aspect, and hitting the numbers that I want. I would say 90% of it has to do with the seasonality.
Okay, fair. That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
Right on. I know it's new, and like you're really honing in on something that works, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Facebook ads were working and are working, so you became an expert and you did a deep dive into that.
Yeah.
Have you tried like Google SEO,
Yes.
property managers, HOAs,
Yes.
referrals,
Yes.
yard signs,
Yes.
anything that's like more organic that you wouldn't have to spend more money on, but you would get more return?
Yes. So I do yard signs.
Right on.
I currently do SEO.
Okay.
I do referral and Google PPC. I'm just not sold on it. I've done it. I'm sure you've heard of Eric Barstow with Painting Biz Pro. If you haven't, I would look him up.
Yeah.
He's not sold on it. I'm not sold on it. I've done it, and I just wasn't getting the results. I also do local service ads with Google, and I don't really see. I might get one call every 3 months.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that doesn't do nothing.
Okay.
So,
I know you said something that was very important in this, in like, listen, like knowing all of my numbers for all of this is kind of creating, it's a little bit scary because I don't know where I should spend money because I don't have like 100% clarity on my numbers, and that makes complete sense.
Sure.
What specifically do you think you aren't tracking right now, or you don't have like 100% precision on, that would make that scary a little less scary?
Probably that, what we were just talking about, getting my where I'm allocating my marketing budget. Because if my bottleneck is leads and I have question marks around it, then I need to kind of try my best to make those question marks vanish. So I would say, yeah, allocation to marketing is where I've just been kind of floating a little bit.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. In terms of numbers, like, are you 100% clear with your gross margin by job, or even like your gross margin by service, things like that?
Yeah. We're about. I'm not down to a exact percentage, like 48%, but I know we're usually between, so gross is going to be typically between 45 to 50%, and then my profit after that is usually going to be between 25 and 30%. Sometimes more, sometimes I wouldn't say less. I mean, every once in a while I'll throw, if I see an opportunity where it's like, okay, I'm not going to get paid that much, but this could open the door to something else. I will take on stuff like that, and usually they're just like little jobs. I'll just put one guy on it, pay him, keeps him busy, he's happy. I might make a couple $100 or something, in hopes that
any canvasser for like every 100 doors that they knock on should be getting 3 estimates.
Yeah.
Like that's not that difficult. Like that doesn't even have to be coming from like your energy or output. You could even like hire someone to do that. So like that's an organic method. Or even like moving into like the commercial space, which I know you would need cash flow to supplement your commercial. But if you had residential really well built out, then like moving into like your commercial organic marketing methods with like networking and LinkedIn, or even doing like the realtors or HOAs, or like property managers right now in like the residential space, like being able to just network and build relationships and get contracts and get bids, things like that. All of those avenues that, like right now, maybe you aren't fully executing.
Sure. So to kind of briefly touch on this, so we are starting to do a lot more commercial. I just fired him, but I had a VA who would spend 8 hours a day messaging all of those people across LinkedIn. For months he did that. And it generated no business. And so, and I think I gave it long enough. Now I'm for networking. We do a lot of work through realtors, and it's usually they find us through our Facebook ads.
Fair. Yeah.
So, and not trying to excuse it, I just feel like I've turned that rock over. Like he would spend 8 hours a day finding every single realtor, designer, construction, property manager, owner of a roofing company, owner of a construction company, and he would reach out to them and then he would follow up again. And then networking is the one thing that I haven't done really any, and it's been something that I've thought of many times. And then door knocking, I've done a lot of door knocking myself. And like pretty much anybody else, they hate it. The problem with Southwest Florida, 80% of homes are in a gated community.
Yeah, of course.
And so my ideal client, I can't go and knock at their door. And so I've pretty much told the clients that I could go door knocking would be like in the lower income areas. And I just have zero interest in serving that avatar. And nothing against people in that, you know what I mean? I just can't afford my service.
You got to do what makes sense for your business.
Right.
That makes sense.
So the door knocking has been a huge challenge. And I've done it. I did it when I started. I did it for like 6 months. And so I've looked into what is it? Were they direct mail?
Yeah.
The problem is direct mail can't tell if somebody's not there. And so you're spending a lot of money to... Southwest Florida is a very interesting place, whereas half the population leaves. It's not that they just stop doing work because it gets hot. It's that nobody's here right now. And so you drop off a mailer and they don't see it for 6 months. So that's another part of, I think, the reason why I'm on this call is like, yeah, you look at what I'm doing and it's very, very good, but it's like, I'm just like, I feel like I'm hitting, and then network or market spend, I spend a lot of, on other routes, like yard signs, networks, which is a paper call or whatever, and then thumbtack. I also do that as well, have high budgets on that. Local service ads, I don't get anything on that, but my monthly budget, I set it to like $6,000 or something stupid. So I feel like I've turned over a lot of stones, and I'm not seeing the results that I've seen with Meta.
Yeah. Interesting. The most interesting part of that is the VA thing, and that there was no results for them. Like, we're gonna unpack all that.
Yeah, I didn't get a single nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because like even if we were to look at it conservatively, right? Like I understand like you could take on as much work as is going to come in, but like just so we had like numbers to unpack.
Sure.
Even if like conservatively we were able to create like a marketing funnel that was generating $100,000 a month in revenue, which quite frankly, I know not that hard of a pivot from where you are right now, right?
Yeah.
And you estimated roughly like 30% coming back to you currently.
Yeah.
So that's an additional like, let's just say $23,000 a month in your pocket.
Sure.
So that's like, $300,000 a year in your pocket. That's crazy amount of money. That's not a small amount of money.
Yeah.
Most people have the opposite problem for you. Like you have the people.
Yeah.
That's a hard challenge for a lot of business owners.
I know it is.
Yeah. So like you're in a good spot. Like ironically, like you kind of like it's funny. Like even though your demeanor is kind of like it's kind of just happened. Like oh, this guy just moved. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like even if those numbers aren't perfect, right? Like we're not discussing a $10,000 problem. We're potentially talking about like a couple $100,000 a year of like owner economics between where the business sits and where the capacity is based off of the manpower that you have.
Yeah.
Which is a unique problem to have, but also very easy to solve. You spend a ton of money. That's almost the frustrating part. What number would you put on the opportunity cost? Like if you were to look at like what's being lost, what's being left, even when you say there's some down days, things like that. Do you have like a realistic number in your head that you feel like is being lost in this business right now while it's operating that could be captured?
I mean, we can obviously always, $100,000 a month. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing, besides, I circled networking here. I feel like I'm doing 95% of what could be done, doing it long enough, not just for a little bit, spending enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on that. Like, what could be the sky's the limit? I could be in 50 states in the United States of America. Let's play that card and franchise the company, and then I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Let me ask you this on a serious note, okay? Because, and again, I'm on your side more than you're on your side in this meeting, and I can assure you. I'm a passionate person. Sometimes it comes off the wrong way, but I'm going to ask you this, okay? You kind of are of the opinion, listen, lady, I've tried all of these things, and I've tried them for long enough and hard enough and put enough goddamn time and energy into them and money into them that I know they don't work. Is there a chance that some of those things...
I wouldn't say it doesn't work. I'm not saying that.
Okay. Do you think, because even the VA thing, that is bizarre. Do you think there's a possibility that some of these things are being executed not in the right way, that would get the right results?
Sure.
Let's flip it. Let's think like, ideally, don't worry about the how, because we would be the how. Ideally, in the next 4 months, what would you like to see happen in the business that would make you feel like, oh, okay, like I'm in the groove and I feel like I'm on my way up to where I want to be?
Yeah, I would say, I could put like a number to it. I would say like,
Yeah.
I would say 12 months out of the year, no matter what, doing four to 6 jobs a month. and my average ticket size is $6,629.
Mm-hmm.
And doing 7 estimates a week. $12 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me ask you this. You're starting to build traction in the commercial space, right?
Yeah. Yes.
How do you float cash flow to sustain the commercial jobs? Like, how long is a typical commercial job that you're booking?
It's usually about 30 days. Could be a little longer.
Okay. How, like, is that impacting cash flow right now where you're having to pay for, like, materials, labor, and things like that? Like what's the pay structure from the commercial job? You collect the deposit, and the job is done. You get the remaining balance, or what does that look like?
Yeah, it's usually 50% at the end.
Okay.
So I'm not.
Perfect. I think maybe is missing the most from this for us to like dig our heels in and figure this out together.
Yeah.
You're clearly not desperate, right? The business is making money. You've got commercial work happening. You're obviously a naturally ambitious guy. What do you think is stopping you from just teaching yourself meta for another year and being at $100,000 a month and 6-7 jobs onwards and upwards and doing the thing? Like what do you think is missing?
I mean, the biggest thing that I've gotten from this call, which I already know that I need to do, and it's going to be my number one goal for this week, is creating a spreadsheet with numbers down to the penny. I would say nothing because honestly, 9 months ago, I was at half of what I'm doing, and then I said, I think I can double my ad spend. I doubled my ad spend, and I doubled my revenue. And then a week ago, I said, I think I need to drop another $80 a day or 75. I don't remember how much additional I added to it. And chances are, which is why I need to get my numbers down, is it could do the same thing 6 months from now. I think there's just been, there's been like this kind of thing going on. And usually that when it starts going like this is because I'm letting like analysis paralysis or fear of the unknown. And usually when I do start feeling that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend some more money on marketing, and it always works out. So to answer your question, 6 months from now, a year from now, it might be at that without really much of anything, without just dialing my numbers in.
I think this is $1 million question. Here's the thing. Listen, if you can do this by yourself, like I support the cause, brother. Like I'm right there with you. Like I want to figure out, like, is there an easier or better way? Maybe there's not, and that's fine. But this is the question I would want to ask you, and like have you think about is, let's just say, for whatever reason, because the like Facebook ads kind of just always work out. So we ride the wave, and then we just wait for the next wave to come in, and we're comfortable doing that. What happens if they stop working?
Like the ads stop working in general?
Like you just start getting shit leads, not your ICP, and like you're just like, man, like these ads are costing me a fortune, they're not bringing in enough to make it make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've already, that happens every 3 to 4 months, and then I have to I wouldn't even say every 3 to 4 months. It happens the moment I start noticing that that my numbers are going up. It usually means that there's a constraint within the creative. I update the creative, the copyright, and then the numbers start going back down again. And it's just this kind of, watching the numbers and bringing them back down, kind of babysitting them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that happens all the time. Which is why most of my time goes to watching my ads.
Yeah. Do you think that you may have like a little bit of tunnel vision watching those ads?
In terms of
not seeing like other areas of the business because you're so focused on that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like, you mean just in general, like business health, or like in terms of marketing allocation?
As a whole.
As a whole. No, I would say no. 8 to 10 hours is like working, and then the rest of that time is thinking about just thinking of customer satisfaction, dink around on my Google business profile, mess around in my pipeline. I would say no. There's I put 8 to 10 hours, but I think as a business owner, like I work 90 hours a week, and it's,
of course you do.
You know what I mean? I haven't done a single thing today except working in my house, but during the times where I'm sitting down, I'm thinking about replying to customer reviews, sending back an email, stuff like that. I would say no. No tunnel vision.
You know what's crazy about how you just answered that question? Is you answered it and you came to the conclusion of no.
Yeah.
But like in your answer, you actually gave me about 38,000 other reasons as to why I think I now have it. Because like for a minute there, I was like, I don't think I have it. Like, and I have to be able to dig the path to be able to like bring you into it. And I was like, oh man, we're not getting anywhere. The weird part, and like weird is good, and like weird means something, is as you just described that in trying to say like, no, I don't think I have tunnel vision, and this way, we now just uncovered that like the 8 to 10 hours a week is bullshit, which I knew from jump, because you can tell, like as we're having this conversation, you are, and which is a gift, but we need to hone it in the right way. You are like meticulously focused in like deep thought. And like that immediately, like even the energy coming off of you, like right now, I would assume, and I could be wrong, that this is running through your head all the time. And like all of the different possible variances, which is why you're successful right now. It's coming directly from like your thought pattern and your brain power, like your intellectual ability, which quite frankly is impressive. And like that's rare, to say the least. But you can see it, you can feel it. And here's the thing, is that works right now. It doesn't work. And you know it doesn't work because this is exhausting mentally, emotionally, in so many ways I can guarantee. But let's just say we open up that funnel that could go on forever because we have the manpower. Now we're doing $100,000 months. Now we're doing $200,000 months. All of those thought patterns that you're currently having right now, that is running all the time on the menial, tedious things of every single moving part, that's going to increase by 10, by 20, by 30, by 100. You're not going to be able to capture all. of it.
Yeah.
Then shit's gonna start to fall apart.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have bleeds, whether it be time, whether it be money. The bleeds will happen because you're the nucleus.
Yeah.
And like that nucleus can only hold so much.
Sure.
And on top of that, I would say like the bigger concern that I have in this is, you're pulling this off directly from some insane ability to think and plan, and like research and discover and learn, which is cool. Like that's really cool. However, you have that ability at that level, and you're doing a whole bunch of average guy menial shit. And a lot of this exceptional brain power is now just going to all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're not even able to access the exceptional space. So that you're missing the support beams that allow you to stand on that exceptional space with confidence and like trust and just utilize the shit you're really good at that most people aren't. And now it's just being, I would imagine your brain is something similar to like, because there's so many open loops of like the everyday menial tasks that it's like an assembly line of conveyor belts. And like, that's loud. No matter how menial it is, there's a belt for that, and it's whoa. And while you have that running all the time, it would be impossible to have clarity in the exceptional space. Like, it would be impossible.
Sure.
So now, like, that gift you have is not being utilized. It's just like actually being suppressed and like run down. And that's how burnout happens to people like you, like exceptional people like you. The way that you guys end up seeing burnout is because you're doing a whole bunch of stuff that actually is not feeding that brain, like that part of your brain. Because you're doing a bunch of stuff that like is like you could do in your sleep. So like as you keep doing that and you don't utilize the exceptional space starts to get pissed off. And it's like, and then like, that's my concern for you.
Yeah.
I know that was a dramatic dissertation of that.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of like come out of the tunnel of where you're just in the systems, like you're physically walking through them, and like you gotta come out and look at them and like let them work for you.
Yeah.
And then like let the systems feed you the outcomes you need to do the cool stuff that you do, that you're capable of.
Yeah.
And that's when like that like overwhelming obsessive thought, like you'll still be obsessed because that's who you are, but it'll be like in a good space that's like passionate and purposeful, not just worry.
Yeah.
Because you're controlling the outcomes, because the systems are designed to do that. So you don't have to, because you can what if forever. Because it's not real. So like you're giving exceptional space to what ifs. And like that's no good.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I apologize. But
you're good.
yeah, you gotta come out of the hole. For sure. You also though, to be able to come out of the hole, you gotta trust. You gotta trust that what's outside of that little world is for the benefit of you in the business. Because I think right now you have like a very, very, very tight grip on, if I just immerse myself into every single detail of this thing, then I am in control of it. And I will get the outcome that I need because I know I'll do it. I'm like, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the willingness to like release some of that and delegate some of that and trust it, then it's not going to work no matter how well built out it is.
Sure. Yeah, I would say delegation is the whole reason I started this business. And you know, I think you're right. I've been telling myself that like I want to delegate. It's the reason I'm not on tools. It's the reason why when I desire, I'll have a PM go and project manage jobs. But I've kind of told myself I've kind of told myself that, well, I'm not physically out in the field that much, so I can afford to go do 8 to 10 hours of jumping from this job and going and looking at this job, and I think not really realizing it too much, I kind of cowered back into trying to hold on more, which is the whole reason, like I said, the whole reason I started this business is because I saw the option for delegation. I originally was doing remodeling and I was on the tools myself. And so, yeah, you're right. I need to let go and do the, yeah, it's kind of like the E-Myth. I'm sure you've read it or at least heard of it.
Yeah.
I read that, and that's what opened my eyes to starting a painting company. And I just haven't kept that agreement with myself, I think.
Why?
Probably two reasons. One, I have 3 kids and a stay-at-home wife, and when I'm working at home, there's not a whole lot getting done.
Of course.
So there's that excuse of, okay, if I can get out, then I'm actually physically working, and I don't have to be constrained by changing a diaper or cleaning. As it sounds kind of bad, but to a degree, it's a bit of an escape to get out of the house.
Doesn't sound bad at all. I have 5 kids, by the way. We're on the same page.
Okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So
100%, yeah. Listen, I've been in one of these meetings before, and a kid has tried to get my attention, and like they won't stop. And like I'm like the nearest thing I have, I'm giving them a football tackle with like my wallet. It hits them, they all sit down, and I'm like, yeah.
Right.
So like,
you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, it's a wild ride, man. It's a wild ride.
Yeah, and we have our 4th on the way.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I would say big part is probably to get out of this is more chaotic than running a business.
Excellent.
And so letting her do her thing. And then I think defaulting, I think there's a lot of that, and then defaulting back to the control thing is just, I think I've told myself I have time. I have the time to go and look at these jobs. I have the time to go and quote these jobs. And I have a really great guy who can do all of that for me. And he does when I'm like, I don't have the time. Like, I do not have the time. Physically, emotionally, whatever, spiritually, to go out and do that. So then he'll do that, and he does a phenomenal job. And I told myself a couple months ago, okay, he's gonna PM all my jobs from now on, and then slowly found myself jumping back into that. Yeah, we just bought our first home, and that has been consuming all of our time, and that. So I'd say there's different variables that maybe aren't the same variables that a lot of people have. You think staying at home is all glamorous until you stay home and you're like, holy smokes, I need a break from this freaking house.
The energy is sick. Like, even like you're in the room and the energy is sick. Like, it is. And like your brain is everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're remodeling our house in the middle of it. It's like, what is going on? So.
Here's the thing.